All right. What's going on, everybody? Happy Saturday night. Happy Saturday night. I hope you're all doing well. I got 4 Train Express here. Michael joining me live.
What's going on?
Hey, little Aiden DeVilla's in the house. Let's go a little quick roly-poly here. Jonathan's in the house. Anthony Lapari's in the house. Yeah, we're going to talk some baseball. That's right. Who else we got here? Yeah, baby. Who else? Udall's in the house. My man. Udall. My friend. All right. Who else we got? The guys who gals keep coming. Gerald's in the house, too. Cashman. Hybrid. Yeah. So this, yeah. You know, it's crazy. And we'll get to this, too. Hands off, y'all. Give me down. I don't know if you folks have heard about this one. We'll get to it in a few minutes here. The Vikings is in the house. King of Jordan's is here. Sean Browning. All right, gang. Mike Pellegrino, Daniel, Anthony 527 here. Jefferson's, Chris, franchise. What's up, gang? Hope you're all doing well. Happy Saturday night. It's good to have you on. Shout out to everybody in the chat. For those of you that haven't heard, there was a rumor put out by somebody earlier or yesterday on Twitter saying that Ronald Acuna requested a trade from the Braves because of his unhappiness with his contract and blah, blah, blah. We've heard that he's been unhappy with his contract. We've heard that because of the contract.
That we've definitely heard.
Backstage is in the house. Hello, what's up, buddy?
Backstage.
Yeah, but, you know, that hasn't been corroborated by anybody, this rumor, okay?
Yeah.
And then today we're hearing that the Cashman is one of the gyms that called about the availability. That hasn't been corroborated by anybody either. So that's one of the problems. This is what I'm talking about when you have propaganda. And I've even asked this person for sources, got nothing. Nothing. They never answer when I ask who are your sources. Never answer.
They never do.
No. So, you know, and then how do you expect us to take you seriously if that's the case? This is why I said yesterday, if it's true, it will be corroborated by multiple sources. Then it becomes a more significant situation, right? And then do the Yankees go after him? Obviously, he's going to cost more than Brian Reynolds. He will cost a boatload. So, but again, you know, as of now, we haven't heard anything supporting this rumor. It's just, and I said earlier, it's as silly as Udall. Thank you, Brian. I'm doing well. I appreciate you. It's as silly as the Mike Trout demanding a trade to the Yankee one that we heard a couple weeks ago. That was beyond ridiculous. So, this is the type of stuff that people put out sometimes. And again, when you can't corroborate it, you're not going to gain any credibility, unfortunately. So, you heard about this, Mike? Have you heard about it?
I heard about it just from you putting it out, but I didn't see anything corroborated by Jeff Passan or John Heyman or Ken Rosenthal. I didn't hear anything like that. But, I mean, like you said, if it is true, then that's a hefty piece of news right there.
Yeah.
But until we get it corroborated by other sources that are reliable, like a Jeff Passan, I can't take it seriously.
Well, this is the thing, too. It's like you say my sources. So your sources know more than Passan, Rosenthal, all the top game, Jack Curry. And you're not telling who your sources are. And we're not hearing from anybody that's reliable. That's a tough one. That's a tough one. I don't buy the whole my sources are telling me this and that. My people are telling me. But here's a good piece of news here. Athletics are acquiring J.J. Bidet to play for A.J. Puck.
That I heard.
It's essentially a first-round pick swap. So the Marlins did move Pablo Lopez in the trade to Minnesota. Yep. So they're getting a pitcher back here, moving the outfield to Bidet. So
it's a nice move for them.
Yeah, I mean, he's being replaced by Luis Arias. So they're getting a pitcher back. So they're still in a good position to make the trade do that, the Marlins. So, but, hey, Rashid, what's up? John's in the house. John, Ratchford, Domino. What's up, everybody? It's Food and Sports Blogger. But this is good news. And Andrew Chafin signed earlier with the Diamondbacks. We heard that one. So, a lot of the pieces are coming off the board. A lot of the pieces are still coming off the board. So
David Peralta went to the Dodgers.
And to me, I don't know about you, but it looks like they're just patchworking the roster this year, stay under the threshold so that they can make a big run at Shohei Ohtani and re-sign Julio Urias because he's a free agent next year as well. So I mean, some big moves.
Alex Reyes also went to the Dodgers.
Who's that?
Alex Reyes, the former Cardinals reliever.
Former Cardinals reliever. So they added a reliever too.
Yep.
So some relievers have been moving hands, and the Diamondbacks have been kind of boosting their bullpen as well. The Red Sox have a pretty strong bullpen now as well. So, but I mean, this going back to our things we've been talking about, this does make Reynolds more realistic. We're hearing these crazy rumors. We do know for a fact that Reynolds has to be traded by the Pirates. So
that has been verified. That has been confirmed.
Yeah,
we know that is the thing, but it's whether or not the Pirates want to come back down to earth and be like, oh, okay, well, maybe we're not going to get what we're asking for. Maybe we should come back down to the planet Earth and, let's get a realistic offer instead of an unrealistic offer.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, it's Bernie. So now we got. Do we think the availability of Acuna could lessen the Pirates' demand for Reynolds? I don't think so. Acuna's going to get more than Reynolds. Acuna, and they may wait for Acuna to get and then even raise their price. For ransom. So, but anything can happen. This is 3 days before spring training. This type of stuff happens.
Yeah.
So it's going to be interesting the next couple of days, next couple of weeks actually.
Yeah.
So, Texas. What's up, Texas?
I know this is off topic, but are you watching the Super Bowl, Jason?
Yeah.
I am too. I'm going to try to at least. My command has actually sent 2 of our aircraft to go as part of the flyover. We got 2 female pilots or aircrew who are going to be in that flyover.
Oh, cool, man.
So if you are watching and you see 2 18s with red tails on them, red vertical stabs, that's my command.
Nice. That's awesome.
So that'll be pretty cool to see.
That's a heck yeah, man. Heck yeah. D-Rod, man. So Alan Landsman's a house too. Yeah, man. I mean, so what do you folks think about the I want to know what your take is here. Texas Buckeye. Thank you so much, my friend. You're the man, dude.
Texas Buckeye's a legend.
Yeah, you're a legend, dude. We appreciate that. Smash the like button again if you haven't hit that. Let's get over 100 likes as quickly as we possibly can. It's always greatly appreciated. So, let us know what you think of the Acuna situation.
I mean, it'd be great if he did request a trade, but again, he's going to cost that boatload. And I mean, he's being paid like that. I mean, the Braves were smart about it. They didn't lowball him. I mean, if you want to be talking about comparisons between Brian Reynolds and Ronald Acuna Jr., I mean, with Ronald Acuna, you're getting that proven superstar at the age of 24 with up to 6 controllable years left.
Yep.
Unlike Brian Reynolds, who's 27, who you're going to get 3 controllable years, still a fantastic player. Not knocking on Brian Reynolds, but I'd rather have Acuna over Reynolds.
Yeah, I mean, after his 6 years, he'll be 30 years old. So
yeah,
after his 6 years, and none of which are going to be $20 million a year. The highest is $17 million. So
and we get him in his prime.
And you get him in his prime, exactly, man. Exactly. Dominic's in the house. Let's get this party started, baby. Billy Branch is in the house. If this ever happened, I don't see it. I mean, I don't see it happening, honestly, but you're not going to get Acuna without 2 of Peraza, Volpe, and Dominguez. You got to give
Jones, Wells, and Dominguez.
Also, you're going to have to give 5 or 6 top 15 prospects.
Yeah,
4 of which are probably top
easily.
10. So
easily,
that's going to be the price for that. So that's crazy. That's crazy. No. But I mean that's just the price it would cost to get this guy. But again, there's nothing confirming that this guy has to be traded. So, and Chris, exactly. If the rumor is true, that's a big if. The Yankees. I mean, they're gonna have. They would ask. I would guess they would find out. What it would cost. No doubt about it. But it hasn't been corroborated yet. This is the type of stuff. This is why we talk about this type of stuff. Like, you gotta corroborate these things, man.
Yep. Because if you say something that's uncorroborated, then it makes you look bad, and then how are people going to take you seriously the next time you put something out?
Well, exactly. It's just it is. Yeah, man. I mean, you're gonna get. Let's see, realistic. Yeah, I mean, it's gonna cost more than. It's gonna cost the farm.
It'll cost you a good arm and a leg, and maybe and then maybe a hand as well.
Yep, maybe the waist too.
Yeah.
Give a round to Four Trains, Fly Brothers, Fly Over. Yeah. Shout out to Four Trains. That's going to be his command tomorrow. Thanks, man. Arizona's going to be crazy flying Valley to Sun. Oh, nice, man. Arizona Alley. Yeah, his command's going to be flying over 2 of them tomorrow in the game. Pretty damn cool. Pretty damn cool, man. Texas, you're a legend, bro. I appreciate you. Thank you. Thank you, sir. It's really cool, man. Really cool.
Yeah. We're excited about it.
Yeah,
and actually 2 of our aircrew are females that are doing it, so that makes it even more cool.
that's awesome. Udo, you have a great night too, mate. 50 pancakes. Dude, that's a lot of pancakes, dude. It's a lot of pancakes, Udo. You have a great night, my friend. Always a pleasure having you on.
Absolutely.
Always a pleasure. Who is everybody picking in the Super Bowl tomorrow? Who's everybody? Put them in the comments. I want to know who you take.
I like the Chiefs.
I like the Chiefs too. I think it's going to be close.
I think Mahomes is just going to if his legs aren't going to be right, then I have a feeling that his arm is just going to kill that team.
It's going to be an interesting game. My gut, I'm rooting for the Chiefs, but my gut's telling me the Eagles are going to win. But we'll see. You got a lot of Eagles, but yeah, a lot of Eagles. Mark, Lorenzo, Colin, Eagles, Edwin, yeah, Eagles, Allen, Jonathan, yep, Chiefs, yep. Looks like we're pretty much even across the board. Eagles, Chiefs, man, it's good. Which is good, man. So, I mean, there's a couple of other rumors we're hearing too, like that
That the who?
That the Mets are in on potentially a couple of folks it's not really being shared. Apparently, folks.
Yeah.
Apparently trying to push hard to get Joey Attorney early before the deadline. Haven't heard that, but that's a thing. I personally, I don't know if they have what it takes to get him personally.
Yeah. Did you hear about the Japanese, or I sent you that thing about the Japanese kid, right?
The pitcher, yeah. It's a good looking man, yeah. I mean, how I feel like the Yankees are not doing much right now. What should they be doing? What do you think they should do? Just out of curiosity. Obviously, they're looking to, upgrade in left field. What do you think they should do? What do you think? Yeah, well, I mean, this was not a good trade. Montez was not a good trade right now. It stands to be a bust trade. So, bust down with it. Yeah, it's just unfortunately, it looks like the Javi Vasquez. It looks like the, some of those other trades too. The Jeff Weaver trade, unfortunately. So, but we'll see what they do. We'll see what they kind of will set that. My curiosity. I would look out. I would look out for Matt Crook, a prospect.
Mm-hmm.
And again, the 2 most tradable guys right now are Torres and IKF. So don't be surprised if 1 or 2 gets traded during spring training as well.
I think Torres is more likely to get moved because he, out of everyone, is the only one that could relieve capital and help us bring in a left fielder and a big arm in the bullpen.
Well, yeah, his trade he can get an impact player, which we would need that. If you're going to trade him, you're going to get an impact player. So I'm not going to trade him just for salary relief.
No,
that's not going to.
But that's what I was getting at. Though he'd be the only one that could give you that impact player as well.
Yep. Sean, what do you got here? Yeah, Montez seems to be having complications with the shoulder. It seems. Yeah. He's got shoulder inflammation. He does. It's unfortunately. The Yankees have not had luck trading for Oakland A's pitchers. Unfortunately,
nope.
So, it's their kryptonite right now. Unfortunately, which stinks. But I do think, I mean, what is this? Do some trades like what? In your lefty bullpen, they have no money. What kind of trades are you talking about, Maria? That's what I'm talking about. Give us some details. What do you think? Matt Moore still available potentially for the bullpen. So we're still out there. But what kind of trades are you thinking? Yeah, and the Yankees got Javi Vasquez twice. Yep, and it didn't work either time, unfortunately.
They got burned badly both times.
Yeah,
the second time was worse than the first.
Yep. Well, Murderers Row. Yeah, well, I didn't say. I mean, the trade right now is clearly in favor of the A's right now, but and it's just the way that it is. I mean, he still has a year here, so we'll see how much of it we get. Murderers Row, but yeah, I mean, it's hard to. And as it looks right now, it looks this way, but again, it's not over till it's over. It's not over till it's over. So, well, Texas, get Reynolds on the cheap. I mean, that's what we've been talking about. Like his salary's on the cheap, so he would be favorable to the payroll. That's for sure. It's going to cost the prospect call, but we know this. I think he is a good fit. I think he is a good fit. So, yeah, Benji.
He would definitely be a nice fit. Plus, he's a switch hitter.
Yep, exactly. Benji, as far as we know right now, they're not real. They have not been corroborated by any credible sources, and they have to be corroborated by credible sources. And otherwise, somebody putting it out on Twitter, and then people run rampant with it, and then it gets retweeted, like, oh my God, this and that. And meanwhile, not one credible source has corroborated this stuff. So that's important.
I don't want to hear anything like how MLB Scoops or any of those guys have put it out. And you know what? You can see that's the problem with stuff like that. Is you put stuff like that out, and then people start to run with it, and it spreads like wildfire. And then the team or the player comes back and was like, well, wait a minute. I never said anything like that.
Yeah.
Or he never said anything like that. And then everyone's like, well, what do you mean you never said anything like that?
Exactly. This guy's a malcontent or whatever, and all of a sudden people are bad mouth on him. And unless we hear it from his mouth, it's hard to really say what to say or what he's thinking. So, and yes, we did get Scott Frocious. We do better with Oakland hitters, that's for sure.
Yes, we do.
We had Eric Chavez from Oakland too back in
the
day.
So. We did get Eric Chavez.
That
was a nice little trade too. It was an underrated move. People thought, Eric Chavez, this guy's washed up. He had his best years already. He comes over here and he turned into a brand new player.
Yep, so true. Yeah, Dominic. I mean, John Heyman. He can be unrealistic at times, which is again, we wait for multiple sources to corroborate. Like Passan, it's got to be Passan and Curry and like 2 or 3 or 4 sources. So, it's got, at least in my opinion, it's got to be that way.
Yeah.
And I'll tell you who the sources are, and I'll tell you it's on MLBTradeRumors.com. Like, I put that out in the videos, so you know exactly where to find it if you want to see for yourself.
And my videos I put in the description below, so you can actually read it and actually see where it says that.
Yeah, exactly. So we want to make sure that we're giving you accurate information. Yeah, Giambi we didn't trade for, Jonathan, but we signed him as a free agent, also from Oakland. That's right. That's absolutely right. No. The thing about Acuna, let me see. The thing about Acuna, that's a strikeout total. I mean, Reynolds is more contact. Yes, more contact. But Reynolds, no doubt about it. With the Wade Boggs and Paul. Oh, yeah, no doubt about it. I mean, we need more Boggs and O'Neill's guys. I mean, Reynolds is the more ideal fit for the lineup and the needs of this team. No doubt about it. No doubt about it.
Another guy that we could say would be, like a Tim Raines or Charlie Hayes. I mean, they were mostly contact hitters.
Yep.
I mean, they'd steal you, 20, 25 bases, but they would make the contact necessary to get on so they could create havoc on the bases.
Yep. T. Drake. Yeah, man. I interviewed Kirshner the other day from the Athletic. He, works with Paxton and Ken Rosenthal. I mean, he said the same thing. Like, he can't make that mistake. And this was a devastating mistake for John Heyman to that arson judge, but he had to retract a couple hours later. It turned out to be false. And that's a devastating mistake for people to make. So we talked about this the other day. If you haven't seen the interview, take a look at it. We were talking about these things, and that was a devastating one. But that one went viral, man. The arson judge thing, absolutely viral. It was crazy.
He got wrecked for that one, big time.
He got crushed, and you know what? Rightfully so. Yep. He had to crush him. It's just, yeah, Benjamin. If we got Matt Moore at this point, I would be fine with that. Good, lower ERA from the left-handed side. He'll get guys out from the left-handed side. He's playoff tested too. He's with Tampa. He knows how to handle the AL East. So, I would not be offended at all to have a Matt Moore in the bullpen. No doubt about it.
So, Craig Counsell, the Brewers manager, and the Brewers have had talks about extending him.
Yeah,
That's on MLB trade rumors right now.
I saw that.
And I don't know if you heard, but the Astros are considering extending Kyle Tucker for a long period. That's also on MLB trade rumors.
As they should. They just extended
Christian Javier.
Young pitchers. So take notice, Yankees. Take notice.
I think it was what, 5 years, $65 million?
Something like 5 years, 63, 65, something like that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Smart. They bought out pre-arb and RB years, and that's the way to do it, man. That's exactly
That's a
what
great deal.
Acuna. 8 years, $100 million. And they bought out arb and pre-arb and some years beyond that. And now, of course, he's angry because his other teammates are getting like $200 million. So I get that. But again, like, I'm of the opinion if you sign your contract, honor your contract too. So,
yep, absolutely.
$100 million. I mean, I don't know how anybody can be pissed off at $100 million.
Yeah.
And again, he's by the time he's 30, if he's healthy and productive, he'll get $300 million at that point. So, So but that's just me. That's just me. Yeah, Andrew Chafin signed with the Diamondbacks.
Yep.
How about words for Paul Sewald from the Mariners? Trade IKF for cash. David Torres for Paul Sewald. What do we know about Paul Sewald?
He's the Mariners closer.
Yeah, I don't know if they're going to do that, Booyah. They're looking to add to that team. I don't know if they would do that.
Good point.
Be wrong, but I don't know. I mean, would he be an impact player here enough? I don't know. Maybe trade IKF for cash. I mean, I don't know if they move. Then I don't think they're going to move forward. To be honest with you, they'll move more. I think, but
I think it'll be one of them, and I think Torres is the more likely one, just because he can bring that impact player back.
Yep, he's got value. And I think IKF will probably be a utility type guy here. He'll play, probably maybe 100 games, maybe a little bit less.
Something. I know the Mariners just got Colton Wong earlier in this offseason.
Yep.
And I get it. They were happy with that. But I could still see them being players for Torres because they were originally interested in Torres. So I could see, maybe sometime during the year, Yankees dealing Torres to Seattle and getting a guy like a Munoz back because you can believe that Manaea and Sabian are not going to allow Cashman to get fleeced like that. They're going to ask for a Munoz in return.
Oh yeah, you got about it. Yeah, that's another reason to have Sabian and Manaea here to get better trades, get better player development to make potential for better trades. Like with these guys, we'll have the players that we need to get guys like Brian Reynolds or Juan Soto that we might not currently have now. So they're going to bring a lot of value different ways for this team. So I'm excited about Sabian and Manaea.
Oh, I am too. Hector said it best was Sabian's got the eye for the international talent.
Yep, he does. I mean, they're two guys here, two good fits, and definitely good compliments. They're gonna make Cashman better. So, which is
yes, they are.
What I think he needs. He's deficient in certain areas, and they're gonna make him better in those areas. So, and that's the key. What else we got here? Yeah. I mean, Reynolds a switch. I talked about Elijah Dunham the other day. The prospect, he's a left-handed hitting outfield prospect with speed and good defense. I would look out for him in spring training as well.
And then the Martian getting the invite.
Martian got the invite for the first time. For those that haven't heard, Jason Dominguez, for the first time ever, has been invited to spring training.
I'm excited to see what he does, but I'm more curious to see if he can handle big league pitching.
Yeah, me too.
Because that's really his time in spring training is really going to tell us a lot about whether or not he can cut it in the bigs.
Yeah, it's true. It's so true.
With all this hype around him, it's either he steps up or steps out.
Exactly. Yeah, I don't think the Yankees. You don't think the Yankees are going to make the playoffs this year? They seem weaker where and what team? And just out of curiosity, TJ, what teams have gotten stronger that they compete against? I'm curious to know what your logic here is. Because they've added to the bullpen, they've added to the rotation, and they brought back the same.
And they needed bullpen help too this year.
Yeah,
and they went out and got it.
They got rotation and bullpen help. So Now, I would agree that
That,
the lineup has not gotten better yet. But we will
that
have
I
a
agree with.
healthy DJ and a healthy Bader for the entire season. So that's going to help.
I mean, some of the notable arms that they got this year, and they're not the biggest names, but they are they're pretty sizable names for the minors.
Mm-hmm.
Is Lissandro Santos
Yeah.
from Atlanta. They also got that other kid from Atlanta.
Who's that?
I can't think. They got him with Santos. I can't remember his name. It'll come to me. But they added. They lost Junior Fernandez, but they added another guy on top of that a few days ago from the White Sox, like Matt Lindstrom or something.
Oh, I think you might be right. Yeah, that's right. That's right. Yep. Name I don't remember. I know what you're talking about. Names. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, I do see them making moves in spring training. Yeah, I mean, I think most teams are going to make moves. The Yankees have holes they need to fill, and guys they get cut from teams and they get picked up by other teams during spring training. It's like rounds of cuts, because they have to shrink the roster down to 26, and they have like 90 guys there in spring training, so they have to trim. So guys always get
trimming
cut.
the fat.
And then the Yankees will pick up guys, and other teams will pick up team players that the Yankees cut. So, and somebody might stick. It might be a fit. We just don't know who yet. But it's we got 3 days left for pitchers and catchers, so we're gonna know soon. We're gonna see what these guys look like. So,
The one guy I would definitely look out for is Clayton Beater.
Beater, yeah,
If he starts to heat up, if he heats up,
yeah, I think he's gonna be a good fit.
Yeah,
I like that. That was the best thing we got from the Joey Gallo being here. So,
no one expected that too. That was the thing.
True. So true. Peter, this is a good point too. 99 games with Chapman and Britton. And Britton didn't even play this year. So
yeah,
Chapman, he played, but he was pretty bad. So
I mean, Britton played 1/2 of an inning and he was done.
Yep.
Because he threw his arm out again.
Yep.
Because he wasn't ready. Because they rushed him back.
And that's a huge mistake for the Yankees, man.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Billy, I'm looking forward to what a healthy Beta can bring to, and a healthy DJ. We need DJ to be the catalyst. When he's going, the team is going. So we need him to be healthy and productive.
We need Bader to stay healthy.
Yep, we do need Bader to stay healthy. What's this? Yankees are locked to make the playoffs, but unless another team knocks out the Astros, the buck stops there. Well, the Astros, I think on paper, are still the favorite in the American League. I would agree with that. Until they're knocked off. Until they're knocked off. So, and it's hard to argue with that because they perform when it counts the most. So we got to knock them off. Yeah, no doubt about it. So I couldn't agree more with that one.
Is Yuli Gurriel still a free agent? Or did he get picked up?
I don't know. It's a good question. I think he might be. I'm not sure. I think he might have signed because they traded Lourdes, right? I'm not sure.
Nope. He is still a free agent.
Okay.
But it was the Red Sox who had interest in him.
That's right.
And it was originally the Marlins who were close to a deal, but then something came up where they flagged something during that, and then they said, all right, we're going to back off of him, and then the Red Sox were interested in him, and we still haven't heard anything.
Interesting.
The only way they sign Profar is if they move some capital out.
They got to move salary to get Profar, Booyah. It's the only way I see it happening. 3-team trade proposal with Marlins, Yankees, and Pirates. Miami gets Torres. What's your proposal, Chris? Put it out here. Let's see what you got, dude. We're always up for big trades like that.
Those were fun last year with the ones I was giving you last year. Those were fun.
Hell yeah. You were giving some trades, man. Monster trades. 20-player trades. That's
you know what? Sometimes you need to have trades like that to make it interesting.
You got to think outside the box sometimes, man. Got to think outside the box. All right, here we go. 3-team crazy. Okay, Miami and the Pirates get Edward Cabrera, Dominguez, Sweeney, Herman. Miami gets Torres. Pirates number 9 prospect. The Yankees get Reynolds and Bednar. So the Yankees give up Dominguez, Sweeney, Herman, Torres.
But they're getting Reynolds and Bednar back in return.
If they're only giving up to me, get Sweeney, Herman, and Torres, and get Reynolds and Bednar back, I'd be all over that.
Oh, absolutely.
I mean, I'd be all over that. Well, this is true too. You only had a contract canceled. I did hear about that, Jonathan. I heard that.
Now the question is, would Pittsburgh do it? Probably not, because they're still going to want King's ransom. But should they do it? Probably, just because they're replacing Reynolds in the outfield with Dominguez. They're getting They're getting 2 pitchers out of that deal.
Yep.
And Miami gets another second baseman, and they can move Arise over to short or third.
Yeah, this is true. This is true. I mean, that's a net win for the Yankees, that trade. I'll take that,
Marlins also winning that deal.
Yeah, Marlins win it too. It's a good trade for them. It's a good trade for Marlins and the Yankees. So, I mean, even the Pirates too.
Yeah.
We're trained. Do you think we're still getting Reynolds or pivoting?
I don't think we're getting Acuna, and I don't think we're getting Profar.
I don't think Acuna. Yeah, I would agree. I don't think Acuna and Profar are. Acuna, again, it seems propaganda at this point. Profar, his price tag has to come down. The Yankees have to clear salary unless they get approval to go over the Cohen threshold.
Yep.
So
Reynolds is more realistic.
Yeah.
And if you want to talk about a realistic deal, I know Pittsburgh doesn't want infielders, but if you throw Torres into that, and then you throw, Dominguez and a couple of pitchers into that, it might be more enticing just because O'Neal Cruz is out and they could use another infielder right now. Or you could give them, Trey Sweeney, because we have a plethora of shortstops in our system.
This is true too. They are super deep in shortstops, and they're becoming deep in the outfield too. They're a little bit behind prospect depth-wise, but they're getting there. And the Yankees have a boatload of, I said this the other day too, they have a boatload of under 20-year-old talent pitching-wise, but none of them are at the high levels in the majors right now. They need top talent at AAA and AA in terms of pitching. They don't have that right now, really. They traded a lot of it away the last couple of years, especially this past year. They traded 3 of them. So, that's why I think it would be wise for them to load up in the draft this year, try to get some pitchers who aren't far away from the majors. So, hopefully they'll do that. But keep in mind, Wisniewski, J.P. Sears, or Waldachuk, none of those guys were first-rounders. None of them. So, they became Yankees top prospects, so they weren't first-rounders. So, I would be careful to think that they're going to be, aces at the major league level. They do, but that's something I
don't see them as aces in the major league level. I see them maybe as number 2, number 3. Not to knock on their talent or anything, but they don't scream aces to me.
No, they don't scream aces to me too. And again, the reason why Cashman pivoted, we know now, is because at the last minute they asked for Oswald Peraza to be added to Gleyber Torres. They had Pablo Lopez, so the trade fell apart like 5 minutes before the deadline. So, and that's a huge difference. Yeah, and look what they got now. I mean, they got Arias for freaking Pablo Lopez, so they made out okay.
Yep.
The Marlins made out just fine. So,
and the Yankees made out just fine too, because they signed Carlos Rodon.
Yeah, this is true. They signed Rodon. Yep.
And that's the guy we all wanted.
Yep.
And you and I had been talking about that for a good hot minute too, about getting Rodon in this rotation. And he's a lefty throwing 97 to 99. Yeah, I'll take that any day of the week. Yep.
The link is not available for the stream, Anthony. We're doing members only one every once a month. So 2 more weeks we'll have the members only. The stream. I don't have I can't access the link right now. Anyway, so I had to set it up in advance. So I'm sorry, dude. But 2 more weeks you can hop on, man. For members only. All members that can hop on. So, what do you call it? Maz is an OG here with the 161 Mafia, so he's part of 161 crew. So just hang tight, Anthony. You'll be on in 2 weeks, man. What else we got? Catcher depth. Well, yes, this is true too. Ian Hawaiian. Catcher depth is great. They've got some depth. I mean, Warfet hasn't shown that he can stay healthy yet, so we'll see what he can do. Higgy's going to be, good backup. I mean, Trevino's going to get a bigger role this year with the team. You got Austin Wells. You got some guys. You got some depth.
At this point, I think Higgy's the odd man out.
Yeah, well, if Rortvedt shows that he can be healthy, yes, and produce, yes. He's an expert pitch framer, just like Trevino is. So he has
But
an up.
Trevino also has a bat, which is also very helpful.
Mm-hmm. I think it's too early to tell if the Yankees are going to go after Happ at the trade deadline. Honestly, I would much rather have Brian Reynolds.
Yeah.
I mean, Ian Happ can be probably had for the cheap because he'll be a free agent after the season. So, but again, it's too early. I think it's too early to tell yet what they're going to do at the deadline because we don't know how well they're playing, or going to be playing, and how well the teams are going to be playing. So, you know, that's the key. Do I think Cy Young, Cole wins Cy Young since we're well? I think it'd be a more competitive race. And I'll tell you, when Cole was with the Astros, Verlander made him better, and he made Verlander better. So I think this combination of him and Rodon are going to be a great combo.
Oh, yeah.
They're going to push each other and be in the Cy Young running almost every year. So I think it's perfect that they brought in Rodon here.
To me, Cole Rodon is the best 1-2 punch in the American League.
Oh, yeah, me too. I would agree.
I don't think there's anyone else on any one American League team that can say that they have that kind of a 1-2 punch. The last time we saw that was with the Astros when they had Cole and Verlander.
Mm-hmm. Hey, Aiden, what's the tweet? That interesting tweet by Ballcap. What is it? Let me see if I can find it here. Let's see what Ballcap is putting up. Did it just come out? This tweet could just come out? Oh, yeah, here we go. Look. Ronald Acuna has not requested a trade from a Brave source. Instead, the sides are actually discussing an extension. Years and dollars are up in the air, but $300 million is possible. His current deal goes through age 30. Remember, he hired new representation early this offseason. So, it's a Brave source that's countering what the other source is saying. So, and so maybe there's some counter information here.
So that sure already shows that someone within intel inside the Braves has already shot that down, which means that was nowhere near true.
Yeah, exactly. This is why it's important to, corroborate stuff. So I would not be surprised, Rashid, if they're working on extending Acuna. Why would they not? He's one of their star players. They want him to be happy. And again,
I wouldn't be surprised if they locked him up for another 6 years after this deal is done.
Yeah, I could see it.
And for more money.
Yeah, boosting the money. I could see it. I could definitely see it. And he'd be worth, it'd be worth it for the Braves. They have a young nucleus here for at least the next decade. So they're going to be competitive for a very long time.
Yep.
They only got
Grisham, Michael Harris, Austin Riley, Ronald Acuna, Spencer Striker.
Albies. Yep.
And then they've got the veteran presence in Sean Murphy and Matt Olson.
Yep, exactly. And then I'm guessing Max Fried is probably going to be a goner after this season anyway, because they're having trouble.
He lost his arbitration case. You hear that?
Yep. Yeah, and I think he's pissed off about that. So I think he'll be gone either a trade or free agency or something. So I can't see him being back.
No.
What else we got here? It happens, Anthony. This is what happens. Just like the person that was making stuff up about Trout demanding a trade to the Yankees. They do it to get clicks, right? To get views. It's clickbait. It's propaganda. The problem is it's going to hurt.
There's no merit.
There's no merit. It's going to hurt his long-term credibility. It's not good for sustainable growth to your channel. And then other people latch on to this. And then it just becomes this,
And then it becomes a three-ring circus.
Yes. That's one reason why we don't do politics on this channel, because bullshit spreads pretty easily.
And I don't do it on mine either. I don't put up with that. I'm not here to do that. I'm here to talk baseball.
We're talking about baseball. Exactly, man. So, and again, I would agree with Sheet. Extending Acuna sounds more likely than trading him. I would agree. 100%.
Because I can guarantee you the Braves are going to do anything to make that man happy.
No, heck yeah. Why would they not? Well, this is too. The Acuna sound like something an agent would say to beef up players asking for it. Yeah, probably. Could be. I mean, smoke screens or whatever. I mean, it's just this is what happens, man. What else we got here? If Peraza and Volpe both play good in spring training, would I put Anthony Volpe at second, trade Torrey? Yeah, I would. I think Volpe's more natural position is second. think Peraza's more natural position is shortstop. He's got an elite arm at short, and again, Volpe has a higher ceiling, but they have to show that they're ready to take over. They have to show that they're ready.
They've got to prove it, and spring training is where they're going to do it.
Yeah.
Now, I'm sure Peraza's up permanently. I don't see them sending him down unless something drastic happens with his play. I don't see him being sent down, but I do see Peraza winning the shortstop job.
Yeah,
I know a lot of people want to see Volpe at short, but I don't think his arm is strong enough to play short.
No, Volpe's perfect. I think it's second. And again, if he's not ready, he's not ready. We have reinforcements at second, so that if he's not ready, they don't have to rush him. That's why we have DJ. That's why we have Torres. So, but again, would I be surprised if they moved Torres if Volpe showed that he was ready? No,
absolutely not.
Absolutely not.
I could see the Yankees making a move for a guy like an Andres Munoz or a Garrett Crochet.
Yeah,
you can bet your bottom dollar on this, and I'll bet everything I got on this. Brian Sabian and Omar Minaya are going to ask for King's ransom in return for Gleyber Torres.
Yep.
And you better believe that Omar Minaya and Brian Sabian won't be happy unless they get the guy they want for the guy they're giving up.
Yep, 100%, man. And just sounds like more. Yeah, Sunil, like the nutty version, slimy nutty version. It's a drawback when social media rumors would make the light of day noise in the newspaper. Well, this is true. Someone BFE can tweet something erroneous. Yeah, exactly. This is when baloney becomes reality. And again, you have one person who has a good amount of followers, tweets it, retweets it, and all of a sudden, everybody's talking about it, and it hasn't been corroborated anywhere. So that's how it starts, right? That's how it keeps going. It's just that's the way it is. That's a good point. And I haven't seen the rosters yet, but I heard the U.S. has a strong roster.
They do.
Puerto Rico.
Trey Turner is going to be playing for the Team USA.
Nice.
Nolan Arenado, Paul Goldschmidt, Mike Trout is going to be the captain of the team.
Nice.
Nestor Cortez is playing for Team USA. So that's pretty cool. Got some Yankee representation.
Yeah, right.
I can't think of who else, but we have a very strong roster this year.
We do.
For the WBC to going into defending our title.
We do. And this is true too. Oswald's got he's a strong arm and quick feet. He's good at outfield and infield. Personally, I think he's the best. I think he's the best guy to be like a Ben Zobrist for the Yankees. To play both sides.
Yeah.
Both the infield and the outfield. I think he'd be perfect.
100% agree.
And we'll see what happens there. But he's good. But he's still developing too. He got exposed by good pitching in the playoffs. So he's got some work to do too. I want to see what I think of McDonaldson this year if he's not traded. You know what's crazy, Sunil? He's got a $16 million option or a $6 million buyout for 2024. I mean, if I'm him, I'm motivated to try to play as well as possible so that I can have my option exercised. So maybe the extra $10 million that he can make or lose would motivate the guy to maybe play a little bit better. But we'll see. He's on the wrong side of 30. His timing's not the same. So, but at the very least, stay out of trouble. Don't be a dick. Or be a good clubhouse guy. So, he's got some possibility. But I think we've seen the best of Josh Donaldson a couple of years ago. But if he stays, I do think he's going to stay. But if somebody beats him to it, if like Japar beats him, if DJ is playing third, sit him. Just sit him. Have the best guy out in the field. And that's just my opinion, but that's what I would do. That's honestly what I would do. But spring training, spring training is just they're getting reps, they're getting their timing. It's just getting fit again, getting in game shape instead of workout shape. So, and
getting ready to get ready for the season.
Yep, but some of these prospects work so hard in the offseason because they know there's a couple spots and it's a competition for a lot of those guys, and they're competing for very few spots. So they're going to have to be as locked in as they possibly can.
Yep.
And it's a crapshoot spring training for some of those people that are trying to fight to be on the roster. So it just is what it is. So, but these guys know what they need to do. They know what they need to do. So like the Volpes and the Frauds and the Chaparros, like who people talk like, okay, this guy has a really legitimate shot. Well, and again, he'll show it. If he's ready, he'll show it. and that's the bottom line. So I would agree with this too, John. Like drafting more left-handed hitters and more pitching in this draft, and this is a relatively not very deep draft this coming year. Having looked at all the prospects, so watch out for Atlantic League and Independent League and stuff like that. Don't be surprised if they get players from there too. Cape Cod League and all folks. So I think it's going to be kind of across the board.
I'm very excited though for Brandon Maia. That's who I'm excited about. I'm very excited for him.
Yeah, he's a good-looking player. He is a good-looking player. So, next biggest target should be Machado. We'll see, Hayden. If it depends if he opts out, he's going to want probably another $300 million deal.
Yeah.
So, but if Chaparro turns out to be the real deal, I think they would be wise to consider that. But I think they'll be inquiring on Machado if he opts out. But we'll see. We don't know. It's too early yet. It's too early yet.
Yeah.
So, and we'll see. But yeah, I mean, a bidding war could happen, but I don't know. I'm not exactly sure. Retire from nursing, Dominic? If you did, congratulations, man. Congratulations to you, dude. That's awesome.
Yeah, congrats, man.
Thank you for doing.
That's awesome.
Thank you for this. With nursing, man. Jeff Weaver looks up. Yeah. Weaver looks solid. And you got him, Jack McDowell. They did not work out, the Yankees. They didn't work out, unfortunately. So, unfortunately, that's just the way that it is sometimes. They couldn't handle the New York pressure, the New York environment. So,
New York is not for everybody, and that's okay. That's okay.
Yep.
It's not anything against you. It's just New York's not for you, and that's perfectly fine.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
There are other places that just are better fits for you, and that's okay.
Mm-hmm. Machado opts out. Rumor that he wants to return. Let him go to the Mets. Let him and Ohtani go to the Mets, and I'd love to see them all go to the Mets and then never win a World Series.
Mm-hmm.
So that would be probably the coolest thing ever. Have an $800 million payroll and never win the World Series. And that just goes to show you, buying everybody doesn't guarantee the World Series. Didn't guarantee the Yankees World Series. Not going to guarantee anybody else the World Series. So it is what it is. Where do I rank the Yankees pitching lineup? I still think the lineup is incomplete, so I won't rank them. Pitching, I think they're ranked 1 or 2. 1 or 2 with Houston and in terms of the American League. National League, you got Atlanta, you got a couple of teams. So Mets are good, but I think they're right up there, top 3 in baseball pitching.
The Yankees' rotation has drastically improved.
Mm-hmm.
Drastically improved from last year.
Big time.
And the signing of Rodon really solidifies what could be the best rotation in baseball.
Mm-hmm.
It really gives not only the Yankees, but it gives Cole that bulldog behind him to be on him. Now,
True.
Cole's always hard on himself, and we see this.
Mm-hmm.
But to have a guy like a Rodon behind Cole to give him that bark in the ear
Mm-hmm.
is going to help him.
True.
Because if you look at his days in Houston with Verlander, it was the same thing. And it was a competition between the two of them.
True. New York is a tough sports city, asked Kylie. Well, I mean, Kyrie Irving, I don't think he was ever a fit here. I don't think Kevin Durant was ever a fit here. I mean, I understand the Knicks trying to do that and trying to bring in the other guy Harden for that dynamic 3, but it never worked out.
Nope.
Never worked out, man.
Kyrie was hardly on the court
Kyrie
was hardly on the court when Harden was there.
Yep.
Durant was hurt most of the time. And it's not a place. It's not for everyone.
And they're ball hogs, too. They're ball hogs, all 3 of them. So it just wasn't a fit.
Harden wants to be a playmaker. Kyrie wants to be a playmaker. Durant wants to carry a team on his shoulders. And those 3 just can't coexist with each other.
Yep, it's true. Now they're going to be rebuilding again. And the Knicks are going to be quietly getting better. So they made 1 trade last week for Josh Hart, which I think is a good move, but nothing flashy.
Did you hear about the trade that the Rangers made for the guy from the Blues?
No.
Yeah, they traded, I think, for the second top scorer in the NHL this year.
Oh, that's nice. That's a good trade for the Rangers.
Yeah.
I like that, man. I like that.
I can't think of his name, but if you give me a second, I'll look it up and I'll let you know. But it was a nice trade for him.
Yeah, man. Stanton can't stay in the field. Hicks is garbage, and Donaldson is garbage, and Torres is so. Stanton, yeah, I mean, I expect like 115, 120 games from Stanton and 30 home runs. I would take that any day of the week. Hicks, yeah, I mean, he's not the guy here anymore. Donaldson, not the guy here anymore. But again, until these guys are moved, they're going to play. And that's just an unfortunate truth. Torres was so. He had a better year than the year prior. But again, we need more contact hitting out of Torres. We need more patient, discipline hitting out of him, and not the attempts to hit home runs all the time. So I totally get it. But I mean, if Hicks plays better and Donaldson plays better, we'll get what we get from him. But again, it's going to be a competition. Like Oswaldo Cabrera is going to have to outplay Hicks to get more playing time in left field. And it's just the way that it is. And Estevan Florial will probably be in there. I don't think he'll make it, but like Oswaldo Cabrera is going to have to outplay these guys.
Prove himself. Yep.
Yeah, exactly.
So the two guys they got from the Blues were Vladimir, and excuse me if I butcher the name, Vladimir Tarasenko and Nico Mikola.
Okay. All right.
They got them from the Blues, so that gives them that really bolsters that team.
We need a Stanley Cup and back in New York, man.
Yeah. So they got those two, and they gave up.
We need a Stanley Cup in Square Garden, man.
For
the Knicks ain't winning one just yet.
A conditional 2023 first-round pick, a conditional 2024 fourth-round pick, Sammy Blaze, and Hunter Skinner. The Blues will retain 50% of Tarasenko's contract, which expires at the end of this season.
All right. That's good. That's a nice trade for them. They trade from depth and got a quality guy.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude. I want my Knicks. I want my Rangers. I want my Rangers and my Knicks to be in the playoffs, man.
Yeah.
James Dolan's got a guy. He's got to sell a freaking team already. So please get out of here, James Dolan.
Yeah.
Bold prediction: Stanton and DJ bounce back with monster seasons. I could see that. I would love that, Sean. I would absolutely love that.
Mm-hmm.
Yankees are going to crush the Rays, dude. I do think the shift being gone is going to increase, offensive performance for some guys who have struggled, which I do think is. But they have to take advantage of the other things, like stealing bases, because they're going to be on base more often, most likely. Take advantage of these things. But the bases.
We need DJ to be that doubles machine.
Yeah, we need exactly. We need DJ to be a doubles machine. Man. We need a good leadoff hitter. It's got to be, whether if it's not DJ, we need a prototypical leadoff hitter.
Yep. And Brian Reynolds is that guy.
Yeah, Reynolds is a perfect fit here, man. Perfect show. What do we got? Paul, thank you, Paul. Need more contact hitting, less strikeout. Yeah, exactly, dude. Can't live or die with the home run. Let the home run hitters worry about that. We need the contact guys to do their job. So, let's see what we got here. You see Judge, 57 home runs, Judge 27. I see Judge in the low 40s and Stanton in the low 30s. So, that's why I see it. Yeah, Verlander is no longer there, but they have Framber Valdez. They got some of these young kids. I think it might affect them not having Verlander, but they're still going to be pretty good. Benji, I think they're going to try hard to trade him, but unless they get an absolute nuclear blast of a haul back in return, I think the Angels are going to try really hard to keep him in LA. I do. So, and that's just the way. But we'll see. We'll see. Yeah, as with this roster right now, Dominic, and I agree, too, Benji, that Bader should be the leadoff guy. I think it's got to be that way. It's got to be that way right now. If you got to lead off Bader, if they're not going to have anybody else, but Brian Reynolds to me is a better fit. I would have Bader batting like 6th, and then Oswaldo Cabrera at 2nd, Peraza 8th, Trevino 9th. That would be a nice bottom of the lineup, I think. So, well, this is true too. Yeah, Dominic, we need to see DJ healthy. He's confirmed to be healthy. He's looking good in fielding practice and batting practice, but again, the season hasn't started yet. So you're right. We need him to be healthy. And Texas Buckeyes is a great point too. Gap hitters to have speed. Brian Reynolds is that. Jurickson Profar is that like, and so I mean even DJ, but he doesn't have the speed. But you know, if you get DJ hitting the ball in the gap and have guys on base with speed, that's it, man. But like gap hitters with speed are, I mean, is such a dangerous weapon that I wish the Yankees would utilize more. You know, do I see Aaron Rodgers being traded to the Jets? Maybe, but I would not be giving up like 3-4 first rounders or anything like that. I would not do that. I would just take Derek Carr and sign him. I'm not going to give up half the draft for Aaron Rodgers. That's just me, though. But it's like a couple of folks years ago arguing with me, well, you need to give up the 4 first rounders for Deshaun Watson. Like, really? No way. So, I would not do that. But Yankees, I mean, the Jets would need more than Rodgers anyway. Rodgers alone isn't going to turn the whole thing around. So, how come Judge is not telling them? We don't know. Benji, we don't know. I mean, we don't know if he is or he's not. That's the thing. They don't leak anything, and which makes it really hard to determine what the Yankees are doing and what they're thinking. So sometimes we rely on people speculating. So it's just the way that it is. Yeah, I mean, good. I feel good about Austin Wells too, John. I really do. And I in Hawaiian do. If Brian Reynolds is a Yankee this year, I can't see him anywhere but leadoff. He's got to be the leadoff guy if he's here.
He does. He is that prototypical leadoff here. That's what he does. That's his job.
Yeah.
That's what he gets paid to do.
Yeah, you go Reynolds 1, DJ 2, Judge 3, Rizzo 4, Stanton 5. And you can go Bader 6, Oswaldo 7, Oswald Peraza 8, and then Trevino 9. That's a well-balanced lineup, at least in my opinion. So, what? Yeah, dude, exactly. The Reynolds rep would be freaking fantastic, man. I mean, he's still our guy, man. He's still our guy.
I still think we'll get him.
I think so too. When I don't know, but I still want him. He's the guy.
Oh, absolutely. He has to be the guy.
And I don't think they're going to have to give up the farm away, John. This is where they're going to ask for as much of it as possible, but they're going to have to settle on planet Earth at some point. They'll get a good package back, no doubt, from anybody. But they're not going to get a Juan Soto haul. They know that.
No.
Since they lowballed him in an extension offer, that they valued him low, I do think they shot themselves in the foot, which is going to take some of their leverage away in the trade. But
I love Brian Reynolds, but he's not a Juan Soto.
Nope.
He's not.
Nope. So that's the thing. That's the key. I think it's good. Yeah, I agree too, Texas. I agree that it's good that there are no leaks. Let the market bid and we buy. Exactly, dude. Cashman kind of does things on his own terms. I don't care that he doesn't leak. That's what the Twitter sphere is for. People leaking shit. Right? That's what the YouTube is for. People coming out with stuff and corroborating other people's stuff. So I just like Cashman to make the moves. No way. I can't see them. No way. I don't think they would do Reynolds and O'Neal Cruz. They're going to build around O'Neal Cruz. No.
They've already said that Brian Hayes and O'Neal Cruz are going to be the faces of that franchise.
Yep. That's third base and second right there. Third base and shortstop, so they're not going in.
And O'Neal Cruz is going to be a beast.
Yeah. 6'7".
He's what? Yep. I was just about to say he's what, 6'7" or something?
Yep. 6'7". He's a beast. Yeah, just think about it. Lengthen exactly, Dominic. You put Reynolds in there, you can lengthen things out. And it's you got your speed at the top, you got your contact, and then you got your power. And you have pesky and contact on the other end. Like that would be the best case scenario, I think, for the Yankees. But again,
if the Yankees get Reynolds, and I still believe they will, they close that gap between the Astros and themselves.
Yep.
And they make themselves much more dangerous, especially if they get to the postseason and you have that prototypical leadoff guy in a Reynolds.
The Yankees have consistency in their lineup, which they haven't had in a while. They really, really haven't.
No, they haven't. They need it.
Who's going to replace Montez is a good question. It could be Herman. It could be Schmidt. It could be somebody like Matt Crook, who's a top prospect for them. Or it could be somebody in a trade. Somebody we're not even thinking about that, which is Cashman's MO. Which I do think he'll make some kind of move in spring training to bring somebody in that we haven't thought of, that we're not thinking of. So he does this every freaking year in spring training.
Every year. He's notorious for that. That's why people hate him, because he's notorious for making moves like that.
Yep. It's true. It's true.
Look at the Scotty Frost move. Did you even know who Scotty Frost was before he came here? I sure as hell didn't.
I didn't know who the hell Clay Holmes was either when he came here.
Yeah.
But remember, everybody
All
was
we knew was he was this guy from Pittsburgh with this big mullet,
yeah,
with the 4.54 ERA.
yeah. And people wanted Cashman. They wanted to throw him to the wolves when they gave up
Yeah.
Point Park. They're like, oh my God, he gave up Point Park. Who is this guy? And then look what happens. Point Park's I
Hoyt
think
Park,
released by the Pirates now, so it's not even.
Hoyt Park's been cut by the Pirates 2 weeks ago,
Yeah,
or
exactly.
something like that.
So we got clean homes. We'll be okay. So those are the
Yeah.
types of foods. That's Cashman's bread and butter. He for us. I mean, I didn't think we knew he was going to be Tommy John, but that happens. He still has several years of control. He's not afraid to throw.
But even regardless, when he did pitch for us, he was fantastic.
Oh yeah,
Look at Lou Trevino when he came over from Oakland in that Montes trade.
he had like
Everyone's like, why would you get Lou Trevino? He's all washed up. Why do you get him? Because he's a proven closer.
and he
He's
had a 1.5.
closed.
He had a 1.5
Yep.
ERA here with Matt Blake.
Yep. And he was a closer in Oakland once Liam Hendricks ditched them and went to the White Sox. He became that team's closer.
Yep.
So he has that closer's experience, and you can use him in that role if you need to.
Yep. Is the new batting coach changing our hitting counts? I think it's a compliment, Texas. He's going to complement Dylan Lawson's analytics.
Yeah.
Right? He's going to bring a different dynamic, which, again, there's the one analytic concept it hasn't been working for everybody on the team. We saw that last year. They were completely shut down in the postseason. So this guy, I think, having somebody to complement and bring a little bit of a different dynamic that can help other guys work on their weaknesses would be a good thing. So I think the new batting coach is a good balance to Dylan Lawson. So, but we'll see also, right? We'll see actually how they do. These guys are going to have to adjust to new styles and stuff like that. So, we'll see. It's going to be interesting one way or the other.
Oh yeah,
I'm
I'm interested to see how that shortstop battle goes between Volpe and Peraza.
I would agree too.
I'm interested to see that and how that works out, and I'm also interested to see what it's going to be like, come regular season. When the whole Orson Judge thing came out,
Yep.
and the Giants thought they had him, and then how that's going to play out as well.
Yep. In the first week of the season, they get the Giants. Yep.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
First series of the new season, they have the Giants.
Cadzilla, isn't it crazy that nobody's making Bauer offers? Nobody's showing interest in him. Kind of nuts, right?
Yeah.
It's just, it is what it is. Unfortunately, he's tied to this drama and the perception. Even if he was criminally cleared, he's damaged goods forever now in terms of the eyes of baseball players and fans and beat writers and content and everything else. So it's unfortunate, but that's just the way. That's what happens. That's what happens. They got Willie Calhoun. They also got Rafael Ortega. So those are the two non-roster invitees with major league experience who have a shot in left field. It could be a reason they haven't made a trade yet because they're trying to give these guys a legit shot, but we just don't know. We just don't know, which is why I think any trade for left field is probably going to be.
They're locked up tighter than Fort Knox.
Yep. Cashman's ain't going to tell anything. He won't tell us anything, man. Do I think Barrow will play again? Yeah, I think somebody will give him a shot, John.
Don't know who, but someone will.
Yeah, I don't know who either, but I think he'll get a shot from somebody. I really do.
Did you hear about the new MLB The Show that's coming out this year?
Joe?
Yeah, did you hear about what they're doing this year?
No, I
They
didn't
have
know.
a no new storyline about the Negro Leagues.
Oh, I did hear about that, which is pretty cool.
I'm pretty excited about that, actually. Being an adamant player of the show myself, I'm very excited about that they're doing that.
That is pretty damn cool. I did hear that. I like hearing things like that. I really do.
Yeah, I'm very excited to see how that plays out. And,
It's definitely
not to be political or anything, but it's a nice gesture that they're doing.
Yeah,
they're really opening it up to that, and they're really expanding it. And I have much respect for that.
Those guys were pioneers of baseball too, man.
Yep,
pioneers of baseball. So
they're showing them the love they deserve, and you know what? Good on MLB The Show for doing that. I'm very excited for that.
T. Drake, isn't Jeter on the cover of the show? I think Jeter is on the cover, right?
He is. He's on the captain's version of it.
Yep. So it's there's not many players who carried themselves better around baseball than Derek Jeter. So
no,
I'm not surprised at all. So
I'm
why
not
do we
having
always get rid of pitchers where you get Tommy John turned into a center? I don't know, John. It's a great question.
it.
It's a great question. I don't know, man. I mean, I'm hoping that Efros, after Tommy John comes here and pitches well. Um, it's, I don't know. That's a great question, man. I Yankees seem to be cursed with Tommy John guys. And yes, Texas, it is a long time coming, man. Absolutely right, sir. Absolutely right, man. So, if the Yankees lose this year, what do you mean by lose this year? Don't win the World Series or have a losing season? Because a lot of folks consider them not winning the World Series them losing. So, I don't think Boone and Cash just got extended, both of them. So, if they get far,
I don't see them going anywhere
Yeah,
anytime soon. And especially with Sabian and Mania, with them being as level-headed as they are
yeah,
and as, in tune with everything as they are, I don't see Cashman going. Because you better believe that those two are going to talk some sense into Steinbrenner and be like, hey, let us work our magic with him.
yep.
He'll be just fine.
I don't see. I don't see Cashman going either. I just don't see it.
Not with Sabian and Mania, the two people that he handpicked himself, mind you.
Yep. So true. It's so true. Here. Here. This. Okay. MLB would not be for because if they hadn't broken the color. Yeah. Well, exactly, man. Yes. Yes. I mean, basketball used to be an all-white game. Basketball was for a long time. And
Absolutely,
there's a
Billy.
color barrier there too. It's just now it's just it's great that they're doing this stuff, and it is a long time coming. It's long overdue, really really long overdue.
And I'm excited for you. It really is a classy gesture. They've really come a long way, and from day one, it's a good thing. It's good for baseball, and it's good for the show. It's good for that game because it's really gonna. I can tell you now, it's gonna be sold. If you haven't pre-ordered it yet, it's gonna fly off the shelves even quicker.
Yes, it is. I see the insurance home commercial when Jeter hits a pinch hit home run. I did. Oh, you just reminded me of something, Sean. Hang on a second here. My public service announcement. My public service message for the day here. In terms of insurance, getting your ass covered. If any of you guys, I'm just going to put this up. This is a link. I partner with Identity IQ. For those of you who don't know, if you've had your email compromised, you want to know, go to this link. That's my website. Go to the dark web search, put in your email address. You'll be able to find out immediately whether your email's been hacked or compromised. And I'll tell you most likely who the source is. So if that's something that worries you, take a look at it. If you're worried about identity being stolen or being hacked, take a look at this. I partner with them to, and if you want peace of mind, know that you and your family's going to be protected. Use these guys, Identity IQ. So that's all
awesome.
simple about that. This is to me. I wanted to link up with somebody that I believed in and something that to do good for people. This does that. This protects you and your family. So if it's important to you, just look at it and use it if you want to protect your family. So that's all I'll say about that. I'll keep it simple. But Jeter, yeah, the golden thong. Who gave it to him? Jason Giambi.
Really?
Giambi gave him the golden thong, baby. Mm-hmm. He helped him break out of a slump. Yep.
Did not know that.
Yeah, Giambi was a big party animal to me. He's one of the most popular baseball players ever to play in the Yankees. So he was loved.
Yeah, but he was also one of the more superstitious guys on this team as well.
Yep. Do I think the new rules this year will be good and help the Yankees players? I think they're going to help a lot of players. I mean,
Rizzo, for one.
Rizzo, I mean, the banning the shift, I think, is going to help. Positional, the catcher count and the pitch count's going to help. It'll help the workhorses. I think it's going to help guys like Cole, guys like Rodon. It will help them. And we'll see about the other rules. I mean, I'm really curious to see whether they're trending towards adopting robot umps. We'll see.
I hope not.
AAA stadium is going to have robot umps this year. So
I hope not.
Yeah,
and I'll tell you why I hope not. Because that takes the human element out of the game. And then
Exactly.
you might as well just have robots playing the game.
Well, exactly. Exactly. I can't see somebody arguing with a TV screen about pitchers. I like umps and catchers and
Oh,
arguing.
absolutely.
I don't know how the hell
Some
they can
some
do
of
that.
the most famous arguments was the Yogi Berra one when Jackie Robinson stole home. You had the Bobby Cox argument in '96 against the Yankees when who was it that got thrown out at second that year in Game 6, where Cox got really heated.
Oh, yeah. Dominic, thank you, man. Appreciate that.
Appreciate you, Dominic.
Um, shit. Who was it?
I think it was Grissom.
Grissom or Polonia? Yeah.
It might have been Polonia. Then you had some of the famous Joe Torre arguments with the umpires. You had the Joe Girardi umpires. You
Yeah.
had the Aaron Boone one where he was telling that young kid that his boys were savages in the box.
Yeah, I remember that one. John, you don't like the new pickoff rule. You know what's interesting about the new pickoff rule, for those of you who haven't heard, I mean, you can try to do pickoff, but if you do it multiple times, it automatically turns into a balk if it's a failed pickoff. So anytime more than one pickoff now, it's a balk. Which is crazy. But I mean, look how many times guys can throw to first when there's a runner there just to try to get the guy's timing off and keep him there. It's just, and they do it sometimes 10 times. Right? It's ridiculous. So the new pickoff rule, I get it. I'm not a biggest fan of it either, but I can see the logic behind it. Anything to make the game more efficient and not as long, I'm okay with. But the robot umps, I don't want in the Major Leagues.
No.
Yeah, Mike, I'm with you 100%.
I said something to you about those new rules with the bigger bases and everything.
Yeah.
I think it was. I sent you that. That was pretty interesting to see.
Yeah.
This the comparison of bases compared to what they have been.
Yep. And again, it's a shorter distance now between the bases, so it will benefit guys like IKF. People hate him, but he had 22 stolen bases last year, more than any Yankee. So it's going to help guys like him. It's going to help guys like Oswald Peraza, Bader, move bases, move on around the bases better.
I would not sleep on Bader stealing bases because he's got speed, and he proved it last year with that diving catch in the gap.
Oh yeah,
that saved 3 runs.
The guy is a defensive god, man. He's a defensive god. He really is.
He's a defensive wizard.
Yeah, perfect routes, perfect positions. I mean,
yep.
I'm really happy I'm sad that we got rid of Montgomery, but I'm happy we got Bader.
But at the end of the day, look at who won that trade when Bader came back.
Uh-huh.
And look what Bader did for us in the playoffs.
He carried their asses in the playoffs when Judge wasn't doing anything.
Yep.
Offense.
When Judge went 1 for the century,
yep.
Bader was hitting 280, 290, and he even took Verlander yard.
Yep. And keep in mind, after 2023, Jordan Montgomery's a free agent. Yankees can go after trying to re-sign the guy again. So he's a free agent after 2023. So
I think he'll stay with St. Louis though, because he's been noted to have said that he really likes St. Louis. He loves being out there, and he loves the clubhouse and the fans out there. So, not to say he doesn't like Yankee fans, but
it's a great organization, the Cardinals. Great, they run it, first class.
Yeah,
they really do. No, wait for. Oh yeah, I think Bader's going to steal some bases. Bader, I think Oswaldo Cabrera, I think Oswald Peraza. These guys are aggressive. Anthony Volpe stole 50 bases last year. 50 freaking stolen bases. So
imagine Volpe and Peraza on the bases together. Now you're wreaking havoc.
Yeah, that's exactly. And then you have a guy like DJ who can hit a double and drive both of them in. So that's what I'm hoping happens. You have a guy in first and second, both have speed. DJ hits a double. You got a 2-run.
And then when the Yankees trade for Reynolds, if they get him, if the Pirates come back down to earth, now you've got your lineup even more stretched out. It's a great thing to have.
It's true.
And you know what? It's funny because people are like, but he's going to cost so much. But you have 3 years of control of Brian Reynolds. And then if you want to extend him and Bader, you can. And you have an outfield of Judge, Bader, and Reynolds. That's unheard of nowadays.
It's true.
Plus, it's easier for a center fielder to move over to the corner outfield positions than it is for a corner outfielder to move to center field.
Yep, very true. Also, very good point, dude. Wink the man. I'm jealous, man. I wish I was there for that. Let me tell you this, Cheat Drake. IKF got undeserved hate. He got a lot of undeserved hate. He put some things. I mean, don't get me wrong. He was playing out of position at shortstop. He was not good defensively at shortstop. He made some really, really good plays laterally, but he botched some routine stuff, right? We get that. There's no doubt. There's no denying that. But yes, he won a Gold Glove at third. And he's also second on the team in runners in scoring position. Okay, and he left aside from Judge. He was right behind him in runners in scoring position. He left the least amount of guys on base. Okay, and he
doesn't strike out.
No, he doesn't strike out a lot either. So he has some stats that were solid, but just not talked about because they're not home runs, they're not batting average, they're not WAR and blah blah blah. But he also had an over 3 WAR. He had one of the higher WARs on the team. If you look at his WAR, and again,
that goes to your point of putting the ball in play. That's what he did. I don't care if it's a fly out. I don't care if it's a ground out. He still put the ball in play.
Exactly. Putting the ball in play moves guys over. So the same winked them. Oh, so I forgot that Bader's debut was the same game when Judge hit 60 and Stanton hit the walk. Damn, that's a game to be at, man. I would have loved to have been in that game.
That's awesome. Wink the man.
Yeah, I'm looking for Spencer Jones too in 2024, Dominic. I'm excited. I'm
excited for Spencer Jones. That's the one guy I can say I'm ecstatic for, knowing that he's going to be up and he's just as big as Judge and Stanton.
Yep.
With just as much power as those two.
Yep.
And he's the left-handed version of Aaron Judge.
Yep. Exactly. Chicken palm, baby. What's up, man? How are you, my friend? It's so true. Adding Spencer Jones in there with a Stanton, with a Judge. I mean, man, I'm excited.
He also has speed. I don't know if you've seen video of him, but he has speed that is impressive for a big man.
And it doesn't look like, just like Judge, it doesn't look like he's running well because he's so big, but he's fast. He's fast. So, and I just hope Stanton can keep his lower body healthy because he's had so many lower body injuries over the years. He's so strong up top, and we need that power. He's had so many. It's crazy. I actually took a second. I'm gonna pull this up because I researched every IL trip that Stanton's made over his career, and he's been on the IL I think almost 10 times.
Mm-hmm.
The situations here, if I could pull it up here at some point. Here we go. Stanton's IL trips. Bicep, hamstring, Achilles, foot, quad, knee once, Achilles once, ankle once. He's had some bizarre injuries. He really had some bizarre injuries. So thankfully, those things aren't really chronic conditions. I mean, if he had constant knee injuries, that would be different. Those things are more muscular in nature. So, and yes, Texas, even Judge steals bases. Absolutely, man. Absolutely. Richard K, thank you so much, man. I appreciate that generosity, man. Rich Yankees knew AJ Puck was on the block. And these are the types of things that we don't know about. So, we didn't know. And his Cashman does the same thing. Who knew Clay Holmes was on the block? Who knew Efros was on the block? Who knew Bader was on the block? Like, it just happened. I was like, yeah.
And Judge I think Judge has made 6 or 7 trips to the IL himself that are non-COVID related.
Yep. Almost as many.
Scary.
What are your favorite meals for the Super Bowl? Oh, man. I mean, nachos, wings. I do like apps. I do shrimp cocktail. I do things like that. I'll do a bunch of apps for the Super Bowl.
So before, when I was younger, my mom and I, my dad and I, my family would have people over to watch the Super Bowl. And depending who was playing, we would take food from each city.
Oh, that's cool.
And do so if it was like the Giants and, the Patriots, for example, we would do like a New England clam chowder for the Patriots. And then we would do, whatever New York food we could think of to represent the Giants. And then we'd have other things around it But the
I like
two
that.
main things would be, of the food of the city that was playing.
For this bowl, I'd probably do barbecue ribs and cheesesteaks.
That's what I would do.
Yeah, Kansas City and Philadelphia, man. I love Philly cheesesteaks. They're good. But I also,
Barbecue or Kansas City barbecue pulled pork.
yeah, pulled pork. Oh God, the ribs.
Oh,
Get me hungry, man. Get me hungry.
don't do it.
Dude, I mean, look, T. Drake. I hope Stan hits. He almost has 380 home runs, so he's not far from 500. I do think I want to see him get his 500 here, just like I want to see Judge get his 500. So he hit 35 home runs for the next 3 years, he'll be close to 500. You know, so I really hope that he gets 500 here, Stan. So I think that would be a good. He needs that for the Hall of Fame, 500.
Absolutely.
So I'm going to wrap this up, guys. I didn't realize that we're on it this long, but I appreciate you. If anybody hasn't hit the like button, please do so. I want to thank Madison from Fortran Express and newly anointed member of Grunt Baseball family. So we'll be joining forces with those gentlemen. So look out for some good things, Mike and everybody. Backstage is still on. Thank you for coming on, buddy.
Yeah,
and
thank all of you guys.
Again on your bar mitzvah. And but I appreciate all this.
It's good.
I hope so. I hope soon. I hope he does. I hope Stanton makes a statement, man. I really, really do. So, but I want to thank you all and have a great night. Appreciate all your support. Texas Buckeye, you're a legend as always, man. Mike, you're a legend too, brother.
Thank you, brother, for having me on.
Love, gang, and I'll talk to you all next time. Have a great night, gangs.